everyone. Welcome. My name is Janice Nicholson with INT Transport. I am joined today by my co-host and friend, Angela Berry, who is with Overflow Logistics. Today, we are going to spend some time with you guys to go over dispatching. So some of you are not aware what dispatching is, what it consists of. So we're going to break that down for you today. We're going to discuss what a dispatcher is. We're going to talk about setting up your dispatching business. We're going to go over marketing and networking. We're going to review a dispatch agreement. We're going to go over industry terminology. This is key, very, very key. You don't have to take pictures. Again, this is being recorded, so we will share this, and I'm going to share the terms with you. We're going to go over broker credit checks and scores. Again, very, very important. We're going to go over rate negotiation and ancillaries. We're going to go over carrier packets and support. We're going to review trip planning and weather. We're going to talk about how to get paid, how you're going to enable your carrier to get paid, and how the carrier is going to pay you as their dispatcher. Next, we're going to go over direct to shipper, and Angela and I are going to do a mock call for you. Then we're going to discuss invoicing. There are going to be two forms of invoicing. There's going to be carrier invoicing, and then there's going to be the invoicing that you're going to do to the carrier. So again, that you can get paid as his or her dispatcher. The last thing we're going to go over our load boards. We're going to share some helpful tips with you, and we're going to actually log into a load board today and let you see what it's like to play around with a load board, see what information is being requested, and what information you'll find on those load boards. And then we'll open up the floor for questions. With that, I want to go over our disclaimer. I just want you to know what we're sharing with you today is solely based off of our professional industry experience and is not law. It's helpful recommendation and suggestions. Angela and I both have a combined 26 years in the trucking industry. So we do know a lot of information as far as from being a company owner, being a broker, as well as being a dispatcher. With that, what is a dispatcher? I'm sure you hear that name or that word all the time. A dispatcher solely works as a manager of a carrier. For those of you who are unaware, a carrier is a driver. As a dispatcher, you are the engine to the owner-operator business. As a good dispatcher, you'll keep a portfolio of all of your carrier's preferred lanes, their desired freight rates, as well as their equipment specifications. As a dispatcher, you're going to be responsible for completing carrier packets. You're going to be the leader in rate negotiation. You're going to make sure at all times your carriers are in compliance. You are going to be responsible for invoicing on behalf of your carriers, and you are going to be responsible for trip planning. We're going to go over a lot of these at the bottom in greater detail later on down in the presentation. Now, the first thing you want to take into consideration, if you are serious about being a dispatcher, you want to set your business up legally. You want to choose a business name. You want to determine the structure of that business. You want to form or file any forming documents within the state that you are going to do business out of. I'm in Georgia, so all of my documents had to be filed with the state of Georgia. The timeline varies. Again, we're still dealing with COVID, so it may take a little longer than normal. Some processes take same day, some can take up to a month. We're finding that certain things within trucking is taking double that time. So be mindful of that whenever you're going to file for your business name and filing any state paperwork. You also want to work on setting up accounts. Because you are considered a business, you want to make sure that you have a business bank account. You want to apply for an employer identification number, an EIN. You can do that for free at irs.gov. Please do not let anyone charge you to do this. All of these steps that are listed here are going to cost you no more than $550 combined. You can file your business name. You can open a business bank account, file your articles of organization. You can apply for an EIN totally free. And then you can also apply for your Dun & Bradstreet number, which will help you build business credit. To slide number 6, marketing and networking. And I'm going to hand it over to Angela.
Okay. Marketing and networking. This is where you need to shine. You need to scale your business fast and grow your brand. You want to be visible. You can post business cards, flyers at the truck stops, as well as being bold enough to put the flyers on the truck, on their windshield. Utilize social media. I can't say this enough. Social media is going to be your friend. You're going to get the word out about yourself, as well as you're going to connect with other brokers, dispatchers. You're going to get firsthand knowledge about the industry, especially in the social media platforms. I do like to suggest to go ahead and get professional website as well as your email. You can also create videos, post stories, and go live and join Facebook trucking dispatch groups, which I have done and I have had extreme success. Let me see, what else? You need to promote your business like a professional using a professional email address, texting, on social media, as well as word of mouth. You need to make cold calls to carriers on a regular basis, as well as once you get done making that cold call, you want to follow up with a professional email just to keep a pulse of yourself out there. This is a business where you have to continuously communicate on a regular basis so that you can get yourself out there. Utilize the FMCSA website so you can find new and existing carriers. And then you can offer specials as far as your first week is free or your first load is free. That way you can put yourself out there so that you can promote yourself a little bit more, and network at the trucking schools. That is also a great place to network as well.
I agree with everything you just said. I just want to touch on two things. The FMCSA website is going to be very, very useful to you as a dispatcher. When we first started, we being my husband and I, we started our trucking company. We got calls, texts, and emails all day from different dispatchers trying to get us to let them dispatch for us. We were brand new to the business, so we were doing dispatching ourselves. But I cannot tell you how many calls and emails, even text messages that we receive from potential dispatchers. So make sure you utilize that. Go to their website, go into their search engine and type in carriers. Go in alphabetical order, whatever order you decide. They can be in state, out of state. Look up those carriers and get a hold to them. Send them an email, send them a text message, whatever it is, just so that you can stay on their radar.
Okay, a dispatcher carrier agreement. Some dispatchers require a dispatcher agreement and some do not. As a dispatcher, here are some of the items that you should include in your agreement: rate of pay, your payday, carrier profile, factoring information, as well as you need to have a copy of their CDL. Some of the little things that you're going to need when you go ahead and you start to complete the carrier packet. And also you want to vet the carrier. You want to verify their information that they're sending over. You can't just take them at their word, because sometimes their MC may not be active. So you don't want to go ahead and start out wasting your time. So your time is money and your time is valuable. So you need to make sure that you vet the person. So also in your dispatcher agreement, you also want to also give the rules of what you require of the carrier. As far as being on time, hold you harmless for any damages to the freight as well.
And for those of you who are unaware, the MC number and the DOT number, the DOT is for Department of Transportation. Those numbers are issued by the MCSA. If they do not have that, they are not a legitimate carrier, and you are not supposed to pull loads or, book any loads for them.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to switch gears for one quick second, Angela. I'm going to show them a dispatcher agreement. This dispatch agreement is just a sample. I will send you this in email form later today. It is not a Bible. It's just to help you guys get started and show you just what a dispatch agreement should look like. Okay. Again, all of the things that Angela listed below, are some of the things that you want to include in your dispatch agreement. So give me 1 second. I have it right here for you. So this is a dispatch agreement. You would just add your company name here. You would change out any information here that says your company name enter. couple of things that you want to make sure that are listed. You want to make sure that the carrier has a signature line so they can sign it and agree to your terms. You want to make sure that you collect their W-9 form. Again, as Angela mentioned, a copy of their MC or their authority. You want a copy of their insurance certificate. And even though they send you a copy of their insurance certificate, I cannot stress this enough, you want to make sure that it's valid. In the trucking industry, you will find that there are a lot of people who are shady and they do whatever it is that they need to do so that they can make money. Some of them will even send you a fake insurance certificate. If something happens while they're on that load and that insurance certificate is fake, you do not want to be involved in that because it's going to be a huge legal battle. So make sure that when they send you the insurance certificate, you contact the insurance company yourself to ensure that it is valid. You want to make sure that you're gathering a carrier profile. A carrier profile is important because it's going to give you all of the information that you need on this carrier, so you don't have to go back to them on every load. You're going to find out their name, their address, their emergency contact, if they have a website, their DOT number, their EIN, if they have any certificates like TWIC or HAZMAT. You're going to have all of that information in front of you. You're going to also ask about their equipment. Their equipment is the type of truck or trailer that they have. If it's a flatbed, if it's a 53-foot dry van, if it's a reefer, all of that information needs to be captured in your dispatch agreement. You also want to know if they have any weight limits that they can haul. Let's say you're dispatching for an owner of a 26-foot box truck. They can't haul over a certain amount. Let's say I have a 26-foot box truck. I can only haul 9,900 pounds. That needs to be indicated here because if you're ever offered a load that's higher than that, they would be in non-compliance if they hauled that load. So you want to make sure you get your weight limits. These things are key to help you do a better job and to help them make money, which in turn will help you make money as well. You also want to include factoring information. If your carrier has a factoring company, you want to make sure you have that information because when you submit invoices to the broker, you also have to submit that invoice to the factoring company. For those of you who do not know, a factoring company is a financial institution that the carrier goes to and they sell their invoices to. The factoring company will pay them the same day or the next day for the loads that they've hauled. That way the carrier does not have to wait 30, 45, and sometimes 90 days for their payment.